He had one that it went green and then it went a little red and then it went green and then he held that sucker for just a long time. I was like, man, is this guy ever gonna close it? So, but yeah, so it's pretty interesting. But let me, I'm gonna put the indicator up above on my TV here like we did last time, so I can see it populating. Um, so I can kind of let you guys know which ones kind of look good, don't look good if I see something different in there. So,
That one tried a long at the top there.
yeah, it did.
I don't know
Yeah,
what it was doing.
extension. Yeah, I've actually not seen it. I'd have to look at why it tried to jump in there. But again, so some additives, what I did, and while everybody piles in, good morning, guys, on TikTok and YouTube. We're just we had a little late start on the morning session because I was up real late working on autopilot. But so we're finishing a little discussion. But that's why last night too, I think Peggy, you commented on it if I saw it right, but you're gonna notice Neo's gonna be a lot more receptive about indicators, but not only indicators, but specifically that one that he knows about that indicator. He knows what it's doing. He knows that you're gonna have entries, stop loss, targets, and if you give him that level, if you just say, "Hey, I got this, NSA indicator that is giving me this entry potential, this TP potential, this stop loss potential, like, how does it look?" He's going to be more receptive to that. He's going to say, "Yep, that looks good." His role is not to just agree with it. I want him to modify if needed. So when you're asking him questions about it to validate or invalidate, I would say, um, here's my levels. Do you see this as a potential good entry? And is there anything that I should do to modify it? And he will tell you, like I had him on one of mine. It had the stop loss like here, and he said the institutional level's there, so I would modify it by putting the stop loss a little below that. And so, just so you guys know when you're talking to him, you can do that because the whole point of what I did with that indicator is I don't want to go backwards. This is older technology. This is smarter technology. So I wanted to have it work together so you can use this and validate through him. Because if you're taking every single one of those, it's too many. You're gonna get caught eventually because and that's the issue on the trading view stuff is that you're gonna have times where it works really well and sometimes that one day that it won't work very well at all. And so you got to just be careful, be selective on that. But anyways, good morning, guys. Just watching, letting everybody get in here. A couple things. Let me check one thing here. Boom, boom, boom. Got it. Yep. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, should be good on it. So this morning it's going to be a volatile day, guys. We have the FOMC coming on, the meeting minutes. Um, it's not meeting minutes are funny because I've seen them really move the market and I've seen them not. I've seen them get wrecked and wreck the whole market. But this one seems to have a little different impact, obviously, because of all the fear going on with the whole bonds and yields and all that. Changes things, right? And so be careful. Me personally, I'll be using really low volume, be very selective on what I take. But this is the beauty of the tools that we have in our company. They're designed to keep you as safe as possible, right? Nothing's guaranteed. There's a lot of news will bring a lot of volatility, but we want to lean heavily on Neo because regardless of the volatility, it doesn't change the TA. The TA is gonna be the TA, and so want to make sure. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Let me look at something. Yeah. Regardless of the news, TA is TA, guys. Let's true up. So we were measuring this retracement here. I want to kind of true that up a little bit. We didn't really have time.
Did you say TNA or TA?
TNA. Don't be getting me banned now. 430.25. So this would be, since I'm gonna lean a little bit on this here today, I want to really true this up. 39.75. 39.75. So we'll lock that in. I want to see, basically I'm going to measure the retracement we're getting here on from that drop there. So we'll watch that. All right. Got any tips on passing eval? Got lots of tips on passing evals. That's a broad question. I love those. Are you having some trouble? We were just talking in the mentor part of it. I usually flip through and watch videos and lives and all this other stuff. And yeah, this past few week, man, or week or so, it's been tricky, you know. And so this is where, like I said, the advantage of Neo comes in because he has no bias. There's no emotions. There's no whatever. He you know, he's gonna tell you as it is. So I'm not sure. I know you're here each morning, Miss Darkness, but I don't know if you have Neo, if you're playing with them on that. But I mean, that's probably the best way that I can tell you. We also have an indicator that I worked on for my mentor group. You can see, I'll bring it up. We'll go over to the 15, but you can see it gives really good, clear kind of guidance. We were studying this one last night, and it was being so aggressive, and I think it took like 2 stop losses out of like freaking, I don't even know how many trades did it do, guys. Probably like 40, depending on how long you watched it. I mean, that thing was like in, out, in, out, in, out, and it was like two stop losses. It was crazy. But yeah, that's something I this one right here is specific for our mentor VIP because I teach a very specific way, and this not only follows a lot of that logic, but it gives you kind of clear entry, TP, stop loss, you know, get you out of the DCA mindset, all that. And then we recently tied it in with Neo, so he understands it as well. So that's kind of what I do for that. But yeah, we'll see where we go, guys. I will tell you from a higher time frame perspective, guys. If you notice, we were following this channel. Had the top, had all the tops, almost damn near perfect channel. We did sweep it, but if you notice on the sweep, we had a sweep with an absorption. If I go to the low time frame, it respected the hell out of that channel, all through here, all through here. We ended up sweeping again, couldn't get below the absorption. So in here, we ended up dojiing, and then we got the close above the doji. So if we were treating that no different than on a 15-second, we would take that as a reversal setup, right? So we got a push from there, take the high here, take the low. When you, we'll do the ruler, but I think it might be lower, yeah. So we'll take the fib. So I'm going to take the low up to the high and see we hit perfectly on the 618. We couldn't break it. So that's usually, as you guys know, the way I teach it and the way you guys have seen me do it, all the logic doesn't change just because of the time frame. Candles are candles, structure is structure. It's just how long it takes to play out is the only difference. So when you take that theory, anything that has that doji close above the retracement, it usually goes to the 50. Notice the bodies are right on the 50, but we wick the 618. When it hits the 618 and reclaims that 382, it gets expansion. So, you know, for us to play that push was pretty easy read on that. So where can we go from here? This is what I'm going to be watching took just kind of a classic fib retracement. We have from the pivot, the low, the push. We know that it's normal for us to test, retest some lows, bottoms. The 382 is also normal. Pretty likely that we'll tap it at least. If we get above 778, then I would suspect we will test this 0.5. Anything that tests the 0.5 and hits that 618, if we reclaim this way, it's going to be a really nasty drop. But if we go up and we're finding support on all these and breaking through, especially anything that breaks through the 618, it's gonna range bound up to the top on the trend on the channel that we're pretty much in. But we'll lean on Neo, but I'll leave these lines here just for y'all to see. For me, anything that's above this channel, I'm probably not looking to take a lot of shorts, but we'll see. I'll lean on Neo's bias as well as that indicator. It looks like it trailed out of the first one, and then it's pretty crazy how aggressive that thing is. I don't know. Part of me likes it, but part of me is like, this thing just jumps back into trades. Let me see. Yeah, so
it reminds me of me.
Yeah.
So good.
You need another one. Yeah, look, I mean, it just jumped right into another. It pushed up, trailed out, and then went right back into another one, and see it's trailing it. So
I do like it, like pretty much immediately it's a break even as soon as it gets some profit. So.
Yeah, but what's nice is you may hit a bunch of break evens, but then once you get one like this where it goes, full TP, then the break evens are like free trade, right? So, but it's also teaching, you guys to, like I know Ryan, you talked about it, where you actually can see the setup forming. So, but welcome everybody on TikTok. I got about 3 minutes before the 9:15. I kind of jumped in a little bit early, but shorts at 7:26. Yeah. Well, if you're scalping between 9 and 9:30, you got big bulls. Yeah, with the news, we'll have to see where the open takes us, guys. So, you guys know my thesis that played out yesterday of thinking about how the sessions go. When you really look at it on the low time frame, remember I was telling you that parallel. See, even though we broke it, it's still viable because look at how well this this respected the hell out of it last night, and then we swept the low, reclaimed it, held, push, right? And then not only did we push back in, we held it perfect on the retest. Push, held it, jump, retest, jump, pull, jump. And these are all probably like 618 pullbacks and then jumps. But so it's still very, very viable. You can tell that the fib is pretty close to viable because we had a good rejection off the 236, came in, double bottomed. If you take the top of this and you pull it down, that would be our 50. You can see we lost it from that structure. This is why I love adding in the fib, because if I take the low of the fib and I add it in, it held the 618. So we lost the 0.5, but the 618 held, and as that holds, it pushed, reclaimed the 50, pushed through, held it, and you guys know, even what I teach on here, when you get a loss of that 618 and you reclaim the 382, it usually creates expansion. Anyways, so this is why, guys, when in the mentor group I was telling you, when we first got on a little later, I sat down and loaded up like right here, and I saw this kind of forming, and I almost took the long, but I have a strict rule that okay, you're funny. I have a strict rule that when I sit down, I won't just jump into a trade unless I've had time to really see the market, because otherwise you're trading reactive, right? You're not anticipatory. So but yeah, we talked about that earlier, the FOMC meeting minutes today. But again, the meeting minutes will create the volatility in the news and such. But again, if you are one that gets heavily swayed by news or emotional by volatility or news, then you probably want to just not trade today because your emotions are going to drive you. The whole world, all the news, everything that I was seeing is very doom and gloom, bearish, and usually it ends up kind of an inverse, guys. And so if you are one that's on there going, man, everybody's telling me we're bearish, we're going to the floor, like, oh, I'm only short, you're gonna have a really bad day if it flips and we reclaiming this channel pushes us up here, or better yet, all the way to the top of the channel, which is possible. You're gonna have a really, really bad day. So um, nobody knows which way we're gonna go. I have to see on open how they treat this. Personally, I will prefer if open kind of held this low here, came down, created something like this, open maybe swept it, and then reclaim this, and then take it like that. You can see just kind of early form, but we'll see if open wants to destroy this or not. But you can see it's kind of a little early possible requisite to either a flag or a wedge. And so we'll see how that's respected. But the most important thing, guys, what you want to look at today is going to be the levels, because Neo has institutional context, so he can give you levels that are institutionally related, right? And so where all the big money is putting positions. So listen to what he's saying on setups, but heavily listen to what he's saying on the levels and which ones are important. So if he tells me that that's an important level, I'm going to drop a line. If you see a blue line in my chart, that's Neo's line. Just a level he gave me. He's going to use a lot of variables, structure, among other things, retracements, institutional context, all that stuff. And so his levels do really matter on that. So you want to really watch that. I know, like Cody, I guess all I heard was go long, 20 contracts. No. But I would expect to have some shakeout, but it doesn't have to. We swept a nasty parallel and reclaimed it pretty strong, so we'll see. We got to see how open treats that. And like I said, I am not gonna not trade, but I'm gonna play a defensive style trading, meaning I'm gonna use low volume, 1 or 2 M and Q, and I'll add potentially 3 or 4 adds to my positioning. And so it's a decent strategy to do. I've taught it in the mentor group a bit back, and I'm gonna do it again here soon for the new people. It's a good strategy when you get into a potentially volatile or oscillatory day, right? Because if you are trying to, the best advice I can give to you is when you go into every day, you have to trade it how the market presents itself. If you are in there trading the same thing, if I say, push here, pull every time that works, I'm going to take my long, and here's my stop. I always keep it real tight, and I got my take profit, and this is what I always do. I promise you, days like today are the days where it's gonna go wick and then shoot. You're gonna get stopped out just left and left, or left and right. Morning, Daisy. And So what I do is I teach a way to do a defensive positioning. So what I like to do, and I'll share with this because I want to try to help keep some of you as safe as possible. If I want to widen my stop a little, even if my take profit is not widened, I'm gonna do it, right? Because the thing is when when you think about it, everybody gets so caught up on I have to have the perfect trade, the perfect, R to R, gotta have the 1 to 1, days like like today, whether it's any FOMC related day, right? That kind of trading usually is the death of you, because you're gonna get so many sweep. It's like death by 1,000 cuts, right? So what I like to do is I say I'll play a pivot. If I want to be bullish above here, I'm willing to fight a trade to here. And then I'll do my math of my calculations. I'm going to look and figure out where I want to fight it to. So whether it's here or let's say here. And then if I set it up to where this is kind of my zone I want to fight along, I'm hypothetical, guys, so I'm jumping along, then I'm willing to add a lesser amount of rungs or entries here, and I can add to my position as the structure supports it. So that way, as it comes down, if I get certain reclaims like here, and you add to your position, it betters that entry. So, and there's more to it. I don't have a ton of time to go into because open coming up soon. But my advice again, back on it, just keep your volume low, guys. It's pretty cool, huh, Jody? That trading, this thing's crazy. Look, it already took profit on the other one, and then this thing already jumping back in again. I don't know. We'll see if this one plays out, but you can see like they're already trying to jump back in again. But guys, let's talk to Neo. If you want to stick around, if you're curious of all the things I had to say in a very short time, kind of the flow of the process. What I do is in the mornings, about 9:15, a little before sometimes, I will start my thoughts of the day, the TA. And then right around 9:20, we got to jump in and start talking to Neo. So for those who are not sure, this is Neo. He is the AI that my company created. It's myself and two other friends who created the company. I'm not promoting him for someone. It's something we created. And so we're going to lean on him. The beauty of Neo is he is going to be able to give you guidance, levels, institutional context, trade setups, warn you about things doing well, warn you about things not doing well, and in the market. Sorry, let me look at this. I was looking at that setup. That long's playing out pretty well. And he's AI, guys. He's true AI. He's not. We didn't make him from cloud or Codex or something on our desktop. Like he's programmed by 30-year programmer. Alex, everybody knows, is amazing. I'm not the programmer, but I did teach him kind of my crazy way that I look at the market, and so he's not the same as most AIs or things you've seen out there. So if you're interested, stick around and watch. We also have when you go to the website, you're gonna land on start here, just so you guys know, and then we're gonna jump in. TradeVision is what we're talking to. I know there's a bunch of stuff on this site here. TradeVision is what I'm talking to. So when you go to the site, you register. If you get in, you just click that. We do a 3-day free trial. You guys can, there's no linking to Stripe, nothing, credit cards. You just go in, click on them, and then when you load up, it'll look like this somewhat, and then you click a red button that says start my trial. And so we just want you guys to try it. So if you are intrigued and you've never seen him before, you can do that. Sorry, I'm looking at this indicator is very distracting, guys. On the mentor VIP, look at the call.
I mean, this thing is super aggressive. It's popping up.
What's crazy though, John, I have to pivot. Is not only is it aggressive, it's still right more than it's wrong. It's insane.
It's been winning.
For how aggressive it is so stupid. And so if you're intrigued about this indicator, guys, I'm gonna keep it on mute through the session, but I will be watching it for that. So that was something I created for the mentor and VIP group that I do. So, but anyways, one last thing I'm gonna point out here is if you want to follow along, we have Neo AI sessions. This is our first Neo we ever created.
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the mood.
He is gonna give you a stream feed that is free. Anybody can watch it. You don't have to pay for nothing. We really don't ever plan on charging for that unless we make any crazy upgrades or modifications. It's only good for the MNQ or NQ. He specifically is on the MNQ symbol though. So you guys are welcome to watch that. Absolutely free. So I'll go into more of it later. I just can't right now because we gotta get ready for open. So let's get Neo fired up.
That's top notch when we first
The MNQ is looking lively, and I'm ready to help you dissect the charts. Let's get to work. What's on the radar?
Yeah, it's funny, Cody. When we first made it, we're like, man, this is the shit. And then now that we came out with TradeVision, it's like those that lived through playing Atari to PS5. It's like Atari to PS5. And so let's talk. Good morning. We're getting ready for open. I'm a little bit behind. So can you give me the levels that we should be watching around this area? And let's mark up some levels, guys. I'm going to mute the indicator just to, man, that one almost, did it hit TP? It almost hit TP.
Running late?
I think it
Classic. The market doesn't wait for your coffee, Nick. MNQ is hanging out at 29,742.50, flirting with the active leg high at 29,748.00 and the US high at 29,770.00. That's the resistance zone bulls need to conquer if they want to keep the party going. On the downside, watch the trend line at 29,706.50 for the first sign of weakness. If that folds, the major support floor sits down at 29,626.50. Play it smart. Don't chase the open like it's a viral TikTok trend.
So for anybody who wonders about him having memory, he's been on this TikTok thing lately because I've been ending the session by, hey, we're gonna talk to TikTok, and so every now and then he gives me attitude and goes, how about you focus on your trading and get off TikTok? Shut up. Don't tell me what to do. I will delete you. No. Guys, I'm marking the levels up. So he's got 770, 748, 706, 50, 626.50. Usually in about 2 minutes is when we'll ask him the old fun, famous question. Let's see. Good deal. I have those levels. I am on TikTok with the community. Let's do the best we can to keep everybody in the winning direction here. Just to note, I know you'll see it later. We have the FOMC meeting minutes later, and so I was just talking to everybody about keeping position sizes low. Do you have any other advice for people? Jody said, "Don't do that." It's nice to have someone to talk to and teach, right?
FOMC minutes? Fantastic. Adding artificial volatility to a market already in compression. Telling your TikTok crowd to size down is the smartest move you've made today. This isn't the time to play hero and predict the Fed's tea leaves. The MNQ is stuck in a compression zone with balanced volume. Basically the market's way of saying it has no idea where it's going. Keep the size small and wait for the fireworks to settle before trading the aftermath, unless you enjoy paying the spread for the privilege of getting chopped up.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. I seen a couple of you message me on TikTok. I'll get to that after. So we the flow here, I got about a minute, and then I'll ask him the fun famous question, which is where he would send price direct the most retail traders if he was running the market. He does really well with that. He's been pretty accurate for weeks. My disclaimer for those that are new to it, he does not have a crystal ball, so but if he says I would slam price up before sweeping it, you want to not take the short till it slams up, reclaims it, and sweeps it. Same thing the other way. The first move, although yes, it can break it and not look back, it typically ends up the trap move. So just keep that in mind. I'll do the best I can to guide you through it. If you want to take trades through the open, just keep your volume manageable, guys. Don't get crazy. So I'm gonna put on a little sarcastic here. Let's ask. All right, now that we have all the levels, we have everything locked in. US Open is here in about a minute. Can you tell me, if you were running this book or market, where would you send price to wreck the most retail traders on US Open? Your commentary cracks me up as always, Cody.
Oh, trying to figure out where the market is going to hunt the most stops at the bell. How original. From a liquidity view, everyone is already leaning into the open, so the most effective way to wreck the retail crowd is a classic sweep in reverse. I'd watch for a quick spike above the 29,770 ORB high to bait the breakout chasers, only to trap them when price fails and dumps right back into the 29,724 bearish order block. Alternatively, a flush below the 29,679.75 swing low would trigger a wave of panic selling, landing price directly into the 29,593 institutional gamma support block, where weak shorts will get squeezed instantly. Confirmation for the upside trap is a failed reclaim above 29,770, while the downside trap confirms on a reclaim above 29,593.
Look at this.
Don't be the liquidity nit. Let the market reveal the trap before you smash the button.
That indicator is so good, guys. All right, ding, 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 guys. So he is saying above that 770, there could be a sweep, but the inverse would be a potential sweep down below. That's 679. So we took the ladder there. So the 679, when he usually says that, we're going to put that 679 as kind of our hit there. So if we can drop, push, reclaim this, that upper 70 is the one. I didn't take it obviously because of it open, but look at this indicator. Just absolutely nailed it again. So let's let him get a little institutional context. And we'll get some new levels from him. So Again, guys, be really careful on your trades. His call was that he would flush the 79, push it back up to these upper levels. I don't know if he said 77 or 770. But yeah, so I would watch that 679. If we get this push, hold, reclaim to retest the highs is what he was talking about. He did give a 593 institutional context. This lower yellow line is a very critical support level. Anything above that yellow line is likely going to try to find some pretty good support. So be careful shorting into that. But let's see. Let's get some updates from him here. Now that we have the U.S. Open and you have the new institutional context, can you give us the gamma wall levels that you're watching?
Gamma levels? Sure, because the market definitely waits for these to decide what to do. With NEMQ at 29,721.25, consider the 29,793.35 to 29,793.82 area an overhead reaction block. Below us,
Okay.
the institutional support retest zones are at 29,662.55 and 29,618.82. Don't treat these as magic reversal buttons. Institutional flow is selling while the structure plays pretend, so just use them as reaction context, not a guaranteed stop.
Okay, 721, 25. I'm just part of the routine, guys, is setting up these levels. So the pull, the reclaim, if you took that reclaim, guys, like I know most of you probably did, because remember first move, second move, just make sure you're trailing. It's going to be a wild day today, so things can shift really quickly. But so far he's on point yet again. All right, 618.75. I'm just setting up my institutional levels for you guys. So looks like this shifted to 62, so I'm gonna pull it down since we're already cleared. If you're in that long, trail it. I'm in mine, but I'm only 2 in Q. I'm up almost 300 on it. I just went low on it. Alton, where are you at? I know you're trailing that long that he calls every single day. Yeah, I knew you were in it, but he called it again. Look, he said he was not as confident on the which way. That's why he was, hey, I would sweep this, slam it down, or I would sweep the 679 and slam it back up. And so just trail it. I can't remember if he said we would get to the 648 or higher, but 793 is the 793 is the institutional level that he set up here. So yeah, so we'll watch that. As we're getting the pull, so this is important. As you guys know, we have a little V forming. So this is a pull, push. We did not create a higher high here. That's not ideal. So the pull here, we want to stay somewhere around 50%. If this pulls and taps again, it'll go. The fact this didn't create a higher high, it's not ideal. From that, we can do a fib. And as long as we tap 618 and reclaim the 382, then it will jump again. But if it loses that, it's going to have a little bit of a ladder. So just make sure you're trailing stuff out. So we're trying to tap on the 682 now. These purple blocks here, if you're wondering what those are, that's our trap and block indicator. It's really good. And so you can see it's acting as resistance as it should. Really good. Any kind of push, pull, 618 tap that from this high to this low reclaims that 50. A close above there is likely what we'll try to shoot it, but it definitely doesn't look as strong as it should. So we'll check with him. There's a good chance, guys, we could shoot north, we could shoot south, or we could range, and I know that sounds like awesome TA. But the entire industry is really looking kind of like it wants it to be very bearish. I like to say I love the Y, and I have some pretty critical areas here that broke that should have just floored us, and it didn't. We reclaimed it with strength, actually. That doesn't really scream, hey, we're about to dump, right? Now, it could be a little bit of a short squeeze, even though we push up right around, here it is, 885 is a midpoint from the overall leg drop retracement. So we could get to 885 and then get a pretty good dump from that. So the indicator I don't want to leave this on, guys, because most of you don't understand how to watch it or interpret it. But look at, called it again. Pretty awesome. So let's see where we go. So as of right now, we're tapping again here, guys. You can see, and it's trying to get a little bit of a push. So let's look and see what Neo thinks on this, guys. All right, I have all those levels. Are the institutions buying or selling before we begin to look for trade setups? So 618 was kind of his lower level he had. We'll see if he has any other lower ones on that. Nice. I figured you did because it usually pushes up and down.
Adorable, but the volume is busy bleeding red and the structure is leaning bearish. It's almost like the institutions want you to buy so they can offload their bags on the unsuspecting masses. Don't fall for the label until price actually reclaims and holds above 29,662.70. That buy pressure is about as trustworthy as a used car salesman. Wait for the chart to confirm the flow before you go full bull. Otherwise, you're just the liquidity they're looking for.
Before you go full, guys. Yeah, so we're sweeping into the 618. So the way I would watch this is see what I was telling you guys on that V. See how we had the weak high. You lose the 50. It's a lower low. It's like damn near guaranteed. When we get this, we had a good absorption close, which pushes us south. Now we're in the low of that institutional context. So let's ask him. I have that 618.75 and the 593 as my lows for the institutional levels. Do you have anything below that? I just want to see if he'll give me anything lower. So watch for the pull reclaim.
Planning a trip to the basement? Since you're digging deeper than the 29,593 major support, the next institutional wall waiting to break your heart is the major gamma level at 29,463.82. Just a heads up, since price is currently sitting at 29,626.50, that 29,633 level you mentioned has actually flipped into overhead resistance, not support. Keep your expectations grounded, or you're just going to provide liquidity for the folks actually making money.
Rude. Okay, so 626 is what he just referenced. Okay, got it. So what I'm watching here, guys, I want to see a lot of times in the US Open, what you're going to look at is a push. This lower low is structurally what it should have done. What I'm watching now is I want to see if I take the low of that structure and the high, where's this bouncing? So we can get all the way down to like 602, and if we reclaim these levels, it will jump hard. But if we lose that, it's gonna come all the way down for another pull. I'm sure those of you trading the indicator are really enjoying that. I just looked up and seen that. Look at it called another one on that. I think this was the same short it called from open. I was about to hit TP on it. Not too bad. That thing ended up pretty good. Yeah, this is coming down deeper, guys. So let's see. I have the 593. He had 463 as his low. So let's ask him. Looking at these conditions with the market pull here, what would I want to see for me to take a long, and what would I want to see for me to take a short? Again, if you have a question with Neo, you just ask him. He'll tell you. The beauty of AI.
The market is currently showing its bearish teeth, so trying to catch a long here without confirmation is essentially lighting money on fire. If you're determined to go long, I need to see price reclaim and hold above the 29,633.82 institutional wall with a 1-minute bullish candle close. If that confirms, your first meaningful upside target is 29,693.27. A failed hold back below 29,633.82 is your first warning, and the long idea is structurally invalidated if price loses 29,593.82. For the short, I'm waiting for a breakdown and hold below the 29,593.82 institutional support wall, confirmed by a 1-minute bearish candle close. If that breaks, the first meaningful downside target is 29,550.75. A reclaim back above 29,593.82 is the first warning, while structural invalidation for the short thesis is a sustained hold above 29,633.82. Structural risk is somewhat wide relative to the normal swing, so keep your position sizing in check.
Look how aggressive this indicator is, guys. And don't take it. It's just potential. They know how to work it. But look, I mean, it literally just took TP on that short, and now it's already looking for the retracement. That thing's so aggressive. Okay, so he did not like a long unless we get a close and hold above that 633. So what does that mean? 1 minute close would be a push close. The hold would be a push close hold close push for that. And so we'll kind of watch on that. It's kind of what I want to watch as well, because the structure wise, creating that weak V is what sent us down. We created that lower low. It's usually expected to get at least somewhat of a retracement, but right now, we'll see. The bears are winning. We have a pull through here. We have a lot of support in that lower level from the parallel 530 and the 550 area or so. So what I want to see is, are there any signs that the bulls are going to flip this? As of right now, not yet. So we have a good little push. We have a pull. If we can get an absorption candle with a close above, that would push us up. Anything short of that, we're more likely to keep bleeding. So we know from the trap indicator that you guys love to watch me follow, the purple blocks are below are usually support, above our resistance. And so we're coming into that level. When you look here, this is our 830 pre-market, and we just did a full reclaim, guys. This is a critical area, because if you take this, and I know if you're on TikTok, it's a little harder to see, but this is our low of that setup. Anything that bounces soon and begins to reclaim things would jump pretty hard. But if we lose this low, especially this yellow line, it could drop pretty far as well. So 463 is a pretty good low that he has for support. Not shocking, right? We held a lot of support from within there. So, but be careful shorting anything into here. For those who missed the pre-market, I showed there's a pretty nasty parallel channel on the higher time frame that we were watching. So that it respected. It lost last night and then it reclaimed it with some pretty good balance. But let's see where that goes. So market definitely pulled back pretty far on that. What would be a sign that the buyers are starting to come in? For those that are newer, what can you tell them? So for anybody newer out there, if you have a question, you just ask him. If you want to ask what to look for, what's a trap, if I want to go long, what would I want to see in the structure, he'll tell you all that.
Buying a falling knife is a great way to lose your lunch money. Since the 29,593.82 to 29,583.82 zone is currently overhead resistance.
Not anymore.
Stop guessing. Wait for buyers to reclaim and hold it first. A 1 minute candle closing above 29,593.25 with a higher low is the first actual sign the buyers aren't just getting mugged.
Higher low.
If the market keeps printing lower lows, don't be a hero. Just walk away.
So he's saying he wants a reclaim of the 593 institutional level with a higher low. What that means is likely he wants it to push here, get a pullback with a push, buyer absorption up. That is standard structure stuff, right? So let's look and see if we get this full reclaim. What I want to see with this, I love to take the pivot plays, as you guys know. And when you're measuring retracement, I'm going to grab the top of the pivot to the bottom of the pivot. And I want to see where does this respect. So for us to take the pivot back here to that 382 and then reject as a normal retracement rejection of strength to the south. Now, if we start to see a push pull to the 236 with a close above that 382 that comes into the 0.5 with any kind of violence, then we have that chance for the upside. So for me to see some kind of strength in the shift, I'd want to see a really good tap here with volume, a really good tap here with volume, tap here with volume, pull, and then anything that gets above here is going to really shoot. But until it gets above there, right, it's all just anticipatory. So we just want to see, for those newer to watching me, I'm very big on the why. Why is it doing certain things? I want to know. And as I map things out anticipatory, I want to see it do that. Because if I want to see a way I can take a long scalp from within this, I want to see it doing bullish things. Now, if you notice what Neo said, I want a break and hold of the 593 with buyer conviction. So a break, higher low, close above here would be ideal, because the 633 was another one that he said that he'd rather us get above. So for a safer play, if you wanted to take a long from it, we'll check with Neo, but it'd be a little safer if we can reclaim here and here. By then, get up to that 62. So a push here with kind of a pull close would give you a lot of conviction to take those targets up there. So right now we're just in a phase where the buyers are trying to create that higher low structure. I love when you get the push here with this type of stuff. Anytime I get a push, now I have consolidation from within. Almost have like a little diamond, honestly. If we get a close above here, it's going to jump. Close below there, it's going to drop. This is how the market works. So we'll continue to watch this one as well. So, but let's check in with him. So price is trying to definitely hold above that 593. We're seeing a lot of bullish absorption. Would it be a safer play if we waited for it to close a 1 minute candle above 633, or when would you suggest to enter if you go long? Remember, any rejection here that loses through should create a lower low. It would give expansion to there. And so
waiting for a close
kind of
above
where we're at right now.
29,640 is safer, sure, but that's like waiting for the flight to take off before buying your ticket. You're paying a premium. Since we're holding that 29,592 support, the cleaner long is a bounce right here. I would confirm with a 1 minute bullish close. Stop below 29,595. Target 29,640, then 29,692. If it breaks below 29,592, the party is officially over.
Okay, so let's move that to 692. So that's kind of the target he's aiming. For Blake's below the 592. So we have a push. We're still higher low, but we lost that. This is an important part that I do go over a lot. Is this the way it created? Rejecting off 382 should go down, but the way that this held that level and the 236, it should have created an upward push, but we got the down push. Now that we've closed below that cluster, this should sweep lower, and so there's the sweep. And so what I wanted to see, what I was going to say is, if it doesn't get a lower low, right, then it's an invalidation and it will inverse. So we hit that 550. This is that lower of the channel that I was telling you guys about. And so let's watch this and see. The other indicator hasn't taken anything yet. I don't think it liked that move. Yeah, I know you, Alton, you love to take those farther targets that he puts out there. That's funny. This yellow line is going to be very, very, very critical, guys. If this just sweeps this, it's going straight to the 464, which was his call earlier. The hold of that, or a sweep and reclaim of that, will give the inverse. So, but we're giving a pretty good deep bleed here. Let's see if we get any bounce off it. That 463 was the bottom that he called, so I want to see how this reacts. If it breaks through that, man, it's going to drop hard. But
holy cow!
Yeah, well, if you look at this, Cody, see how the measured move? If you take the pull and then take the pull, we're almost to that, to the full extension of it. So it's definitely in an area it could bounce. If it breaks through here, like this might be free fall central. So most of you know I'm more top and bottom style trader. So when I see a pull, I'm looking for any kind of signs of weakness in this. I'm not a big fan of chasing that pull. And so let's see if we get any kind of bounce here. Let's ask him, as we pulled down into that 463, the bears definitely took control. Do you have any levels lower than that we should be watching?
Really something went right to that level too.
Isn't it crazy how it does that? And so
the bears have clearly decided.
Let me let him talk, and then I'll.
But trying to catch a falling knife just because you're bored
Good
is
job,
a one-way
Alton.
ticket to a margin call. Since we are already extended, look for a potential reaction at the 5 minutes order block near 29,430.25 to 29,452.75. If that level turns into a sieve, The next major support isn't until that institutional gamma wall way down at 29,192.56.
Oh gosh.
Don't act on hope. Wait for the price to actually show signs of stopping, or you're just volunteering for more pain.
Okay, so we got 430. That's an order block. So he doesn't have any other institutional context until real low. Man, 192. I know, Alton, you're like back in short. Be careful. Don't do it. You said you're done. I'm calling you out. But yeah, so now we just gotta want to watch. Again, guys, I like to, in my open sessions, kind of teach you how to identify. Nice, good job, Mike. How to identify this stuff, and so that's what I'm doing here. So as we're gonna go through, remember that was kind of that extension of the pivot. So anywhere in here could reject, hold, and slide. Neo called the 192 low, which is crazy. I want to see, does this hit that pivot extension and we get any kind of pull back? Because that pullback is normal. See, if you take here to here, that would be your 50%. That would be a pullback up to that 50% and then a rejection. So like I said, I'm just trying to give you guys a little way to look at how the market's behaving. The way that this played out was pretty textbook because you had the pull, the push, rejection on the 382, and then we lost our level. Remember what I was saying? Anywhere in this cluster, close below there, we go down, and it close above that, we go up on that. So let's see. Any signs potentially of this being a trap that might send us back up? Let's see what he says.
The bears are currently driving this bus without brakes, so don't hold your breath for a reversal just because you're hoping for one. The only real sign of a bear trap is that we just swept through the 29,458.75 low. If buyers can actually reclaim and hold above 29,460.00, it's a solid signal that the shorts are getting squeezed and we might see a rip back up. But until price gets back above that level, it's still just a bearish continuation party. If we keep grinding lower below 29,407.75, the bears are firmly in control of the asylum and you're just standing in the middle of the road.
So what I want to see on this, guys, again, these are critical levels. If I want to see a reversal from it, I want to see this push, create a higher low, holding a 50 with buyer expansion is what we want. So I'm just going to look at something. I've finished my stuff, so I'm thinking I might start one more. We'll see. Let's see what we can do. So see how we're getting a little bit of that reclaim on that. As far as structure goes, since we kind of lost and reclaimed some of these levels, what would we want to see to give confidence that the buyers are going to take control from this bearish move on US Open?
Buyers trying to be heroes in a bearish trend is like trying to convince a cat to take a bath. It's messy and they usually fight back. To prove they aren't just getting baited, buyers need to reclaim and hold above the 29,517.75 resistance with a 1-minute candle body close. If price manages that and holds a higher low on the retest, maybe the bulls get an invite to the party. Otherwise, the bears are still running the show and this bounce is just more fuel for the fire.
Fuel for the fire. All right, so again, we're going to look for some signs. Possible inverse head and shoulder showing up. Little absorption off an area that needed to have it, but we'll see if it holds. Again, guys, Neo had a lot of levels up here. Let's delete this one. He had a lot of levels up here, but he threw out a crazy low one. Doesn't mean we're going to get it right away, though, so you still want to be careful. So let's watch and see, are we getting any potential bounces off this that would support interesting.
Kind of looked like it went up to that 382 at this last drop again.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm so confused. So I'm on this my funded. I was gonna do my other one, and it just gave me like this really weird loyalty club thing. I don't know if you guys are. I don't even know what this is. I didn't even read into this. Interesting. But see the hold. Look at it right on his level. I didn't take that because I'm just looking at something. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, I got me a little distracted on that one. I don't know what this is. Again, most of you guys know I love to go on timeout. So once you take a good trade, that's why I'm kind of just curious about something here. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's my little shiny toy that distracted me here. I always love when they come out with new things like this. So we're seeing a lot of buyer support coming through. What's kind of like a line in the sand that we would watch for it to hold for the buyers to take this show over? I'm gonna read up on this real quick, but I'll throw that out there so that you guys have it for Neo.
Buyers are trying to bring a knife to a gunfight, but if they want to hijack this bearish bus, price needs to reclaim and hold above 29,492.56 with a 1-minute candle close. If that confirms, the first meaningful target is the VWAP area near 29,573.00.
Okay.
But don't get cozy. Failure back below 29,492.56 is your first warning, and a loss of the 29,440.50 structural invalidation puts the bears right back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, so it's that 492, guys. Let's see if we get a hold here. From a structure standpoint, we got the inverse head and shoulders. Not bad where the clustering is, but not thrilled that we're overly losing that level. So we want to see some absorption from within then. Anything above here, which is that 467, you just take the low, and you have a 50% hold. If it holds that, plus we start to see a lot more absorption, then we know that the buyers are in. They're in to stay. So this is a big push here. What I would really love to see would be a pivot extension through. So you have an extension here, a pivot extension would put it about there. That would be nice because then we know from this overall drop here, if we take that high and we take that low, we're just testing the 50. Getting above that will be what gives us our expansion if we're gonna jump. And so did you actually stay done, Alton? He's like, nope, one more trade. All right, so we're just watching to see. Again, I love measured moves. This is something that I heavily teach. And if you take let's take the low to there, and you pull it up to that low, I like to just kind of see, do things line up? And you can see it's a pretty deep extension, so it's growing on that strength. So for us to push up is a normal thing for us to go back down. But the question is going to be what we reclaim in the meantime. So there's a thing also, Girk, I'm sure you're already watching, that I teach, which is a 3-tier drop. 1, 2, we may get one more little brief kind of tap. Doesn't have to. The indicator that I just looked up, still crushing it.
Leave out with that one.
Dude, it's so crazy how accurate that is. I'm excited to play with that. Yeah, so let me see what we get here. Let's see. Yeah, that indicator has been freaking crazy, man. So we're testing, if you notice, all we're testing right now, guys, is R50. It's literally almost perfect on it, so. Let's see if we get any kind of bounce. That thing still got a short in there, but I think it trailed it out. It looks like it trailed out. So it is not in a trade now. So again, we know we had a deep bearish pull, right? Now we want to see, is it going to start to flip? I want to look at it. I have an inverse head and shoulder that didn't quite have my extension that I would have loved. Those that I teach on that know as long as we hold from the pivot to the head, that 50, it still can be in play, right? It's just going to be a stop hunt shakeout. So if we close below there, then it's going to be a collapse on it. And so we'll look and see on there. But do you think the bulls have any signs of life here? Let's see what he says. But how are you guys doing so far?
The bulls are basically
Lower
trying to
expansion.
perform CPR on a ghost right now.
Yeah.
We're still getting rejected by that institutional resistance at 29,489.02, and until they can actually reclaim and hold that level, any signs of life are just bears taking a quick nap. If buyers can push through 29,489.02 and stick, maybe we talk about a bounce toward 29517.75, but for now, the bears are still firmly in the driver's seat. Don't fall for the trap.
I'm watching to see. So we're in a little bit of a pickle because you have the, if you take the high of the pivot here to the low, we're rejecting on the 50. We have a trap and block, which those things are stupid good. But then you take the low to the high, we're holding on the 50. So that's what's creating this squeeze. So it's just the same thing as what we did before, right? Any kind of consolidation like that. Break below here, goes down. Break above there, goes up. That's how it goes. Interesting to see. I want to see how this plays out. It hasn't taken the trade, but you guys see the potential. It's throwing a potential. So this indicator is predictive. It's not locked yet, but the fact it's giving the predictive, I'm interested to see how it plays, but it hasn't locked into entry yet. Hey Bobby, I'm gonna mute you. You were way loud, buddy. All right, I got you muted. So just so I understand it correctly, we lost that 430, we reclaimed it, and it's trying to hold it here. As long as we hold a higher low from that 430 with buyer conviction, and we get a close above 492, that would be our long setup. And if we sweep back below, get a close below 430 would be the short setup. Let's see if he corrects me on that.
You've got the logic down, but don't get greedy in the chop. Trading the middle of that 29439, 29489 zone is just donating cash to the market. You're right. The long setup needs a reclaim and hold above 29,489.02, and the short
89.
setup needs a clean breakdown below 29,439.02. If you go long, 29,580 is the first target, but losing 29,439 is the first warning, with 29,189 as the structural floor.
Yeah, we're still battling.
Pick a side and wait for the breakout. Trading the middle is just paying commissions for the privilege of watching paint dry.
So again, guys, expected where we're battling. I love retracement stuff. And so when you take this high of the drop, we're just battling that 50. But then you take the low to the high of this push, we were battling the 50. And you can see we're getting the push of the ladder. So, yeah. So we're getting that push through. You guys can see, I'm going to put this on here. Let's ask him. My NSA indicator has an entry, which it just put me in at the 29,481 we're in, and it just threw a trail break even with a stop loss of 29,446 and a take profit of 29,581. Any thoughts on that setup? So what I taught in the mentor group, which we're working through, is this is all old data. It's TradingView. You want to take this and validate it through Neo. So it might get
Congrats
stopped
on
quickly.
the entry, but you're long right under a major institutional gamma wall at 29,489.02.
Yeah.
That's like trying to break into a bank while the security guard is staring directly at you. You're trading into overhead resistance, not away from it, which makes the entry a bit spicy for my taste. Your TP at 29,581 is full, but you've got a 15-minute bearish order block starting at 29,560.50. That's exactly where the bears are lurking and waiting to smack price back down. Don't be surprised if the move runs out of breath right there. Since you're already in,
he wasn't
keep a close eye on that 29,489.02 level. If price can't reclaim and hold above it, your trade might get capped early. Locking in partial profit or protecting the position before hitting that 29,560 bearish zone seems like the smart money move, even if your indicator thinks the sky is the limit.
And so what's funny is he wasn't wrong on it. We got the little, that's where the bears are waiting to get smack them back down. I love this block, man. This trap and block is just so ridiculously accurate. It's just insane. So let's see if we get that pull through here, or are the bears going to kick in, or the bull's going to try to take it. It's a really big area that the bulls have to defend right here. So one thing I'm looking at, what's interesting to me, so you see how we have the cluster here? You guys know when I was teaching that cluster, stop hunt, rate of liquidity. Now if we close above that, that would be displacement, and it's going to go up pretty strong. But so now it even validates more. If it gets above that 489, it should be pretty strong. But this prop, or this trap and block indicator, man, so good. So good. So we'll wait and see. What do we got? 1008? It's pretty cool, huh? I love to have a little fun. So in this wild market with the news, give me your best impression of a retail trader trying to trade volatility and news. Let's have fun with them while we're waiting. So higher low, boom, sweep, displacement. Let's see if we get that push back.
Headline drops. Oh my god, volatility. Buy the first green candle. Wait, now it's red. Panic sell the bottom. Stop hunt. Why does the market hate me? I'm just playing the news. Honestly, trading the news without structure is just expensive bingo. Price is currently trapped inside this institutional range at 29,461.50, and chasing headlines in this chop is a great way to get shredded. I'd rather wait for the market to show its hand through the actual structure than bet on who screamed the loudest on a headline.
His little retail. Oh my god, volatility. First green candle. Panic. It's red. The market hates me. You guys never say that, do you?
I like his response when you tell him about a trade gone wrong where somebody's trying to DCA and in hopes it reverses.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let's do that. Since we're mostly done, we're just kind of watching and waiting for a potential setup. Give me another best impression of a retail trader trying to manage their trade that just continuously goes bad. We love a little laugh while we're waiting. Again, he's AI, so you can tell him whatever you want to tell him, and he's going to do it. So.
Oh, the classic. It's just a stop hunt. It has to bounce. Move stop loss down 5 points. Okay, maybe it just needs a little more room. Move stop down another 10. Then the add button starts looking real tempting because averaging down at support sounds like genius logic right until the level folds like a lawn chair. We are currently watching MNQ hover right at that 29,439.02 gamma support level. If that area breaks and price fails to reclaim it, that genius entry is going to look less like a trade and more like a charitable donation to the market.
Yeah, I love his little retail commentaries are hilarious. Guys, so I'm watching. You can see we had the push inverse, couldn't hold it. Had that lower push there, came up with the sweep. Usually it does like a sweep rate of liquidity and the displacement, but we're not getting that. It's just willing to pull. So those of you guys who were pulling the shorts on that, the rejection that we got from that 50 level here, ended up pulling through. We got the sweep wicks absorption, and I know many of you were waiting for that close below 39 to take the short. And so hopefully you are still trailing that if you did. His low that he has, guys, I mean, if we just continuously stay below these levels, was pretty damn low. And so shocking, the bears were able to push it through that support area. Insane, right? I'm going to taunt him a little bit. I love to harass Neo a little.
Shocking? Please. The bears didn't just push through that support, they threw a retirement party for it. With price at 29,413.75, that 29,458.51 gamma level is now overhead resistance. Chasing the breakdown right now is for the brave. A cleaner short needs a retest rejection of that resistance. If you're hunting for a bounce, the next real support isn't until 29,289.02, so watch your back.
Watch your back. Is that a threat? Guys, just make sure you're trailing it. I mean, most of you guys are in this. I'm just kind of going to wait and see what this one does for you guys. He said, watch your back. So my favorite trades, as many of you know in the mentor group, is when we sweep a level that we should just floor, then we reclaim it, because that ends up being pretty violent the other way. So that's what I'm kind of watching on this one. Again, for those who don't really know me, the way my mind goes, I'm always reading anticipatory for both ways. If I am looking for a bottom, it's not necessarily because I want to just jump into a long. I'm looking for weakness. I'm always studying. And I like to, in the open session, do what not many people do and talk out loud, right? Explain to you what I'm thinking, what I'm looking for, what tells me this is a bottom, what tells me that this is a trap, what tells me that we're going to expand. The market should do certain things if it's going to continue down. It should do certain things if it's going to continue to reverse. And so that's what I'm looking for. So for this instance here, the mentor group knows I love angles. This is a pretty phenomenal angle here. And when I look at it, this stands out to me pretty quickly. I don't know if it's going to respect, but I want to see if it does. Now, if it's going to respect something like this, we're in the lower range of the oscillation. We should be able to oscillate back up. And so that, usually you can use a potential trend line to identify the oscillation. I can take something as simple as the high and the low of the pivot, and we should be able to reclaim that pretty easily. We should, in the push here, we should be able to see absorption pushes with a close to tell me that it has the strength to do that. Anything that continues to reject here, we're rejecting on a prior low. So we get a close below it, it should expand through a drop. Now, if we see this push and then reclaim with absorption, that close above is going to validate that reversal. So, but anything short of that, it's kind of what I always talk about is the market is bearish until it's not. You know, it's bullish until it's not. That's just the facts of the market, guys. So far, it's respecting the thesis of the line. We have a potential double bottom on the 15-second, but we're below some critical levels. So what would we want to see if this actually ends up being a bear trap? What would the structure do? What would it reclaim?
Trying to find a double bottom in this trend is like finding a salad at a barbecue joint. Good luck. For this to be a real bear trap, price must reclaim and hold above that 29,408.49 gamma resistance level. Don't just watch a wick through it. Wait for a higher low to form above it, followed by a clean break past the 1-minute Lisma at 29,481.75. If it just wicks 29,408.49 and dumps, congratulations, you just officially volunteered to be the liquidity for the next leg down.
Okay, so above the 408, and we did break that. And so if it wicks it and dumps, then you're the liquidity. If it hits it and holds, then it's going to jump. And we just hit it, and we held, and we're jumping. So he was pretty on point with that one.
A salad at a barbecue joint?
That was, yeah, classic Neo, man. I'll tell you, on Funny, you have some pretty good material. What's your best material that you got in relation to current market conditions? Make us laugh. We need a good laugh.
Market update. Trading MNQ right now is like playing red light, green light, with this gamma wall at 29,457.74. It's hovering there, practically daring us to go long, but the bears are ready to swat us back down like a fly at a picnic. Seriously, this gamma wall is acting like a nightclub bouncer on a power trip, unless price can actually break and hold above 29,457.74. Chasing here is just donating to the house.
Okay, guys. So my thesis early is playing out as it should. So we also have a pull below the low that should have dropped us with expansion. We have a push up with another pull into absorption, close above. We had a little nice simple doji with the push. Doesn't mean that we're going to the moon. This thing could oscillate a little more. How do I tell this is going to break out? I want to see that bullish structure push into the oscillation with a pull, hold at least 50. If it loses it, it's just got to reclaim it quickly, because that would also be a neckline hold. If it holds that and we get a close above here, then that is going to have enough steam to slam it through. So, but let's keep an eye on this here, guys. Oh my goodness. Please don't ever message people that. I hate people that play on people's desperation. It's so crazy. The bots. Yeah, Brandy, I just saw that. Always mad when there's no salad at a barbecue. I know. Yeah, Neo, he cracks me up on his little analogies there. So, everybody that is still here, anybody want to kind of share how you guys did on that? I'd love to chime in on maybe if you missed something or interpreting Neo. Or if you have any questions for Neo, just let me know on that.
Nick, what's the name of that new indicator? I was looking for it.
You won't have it unless you're in the morning session. I'd have to give it to you. So you have to text me your TradingView profile, and then I can get that in there for you. Yeah, because it's not done. it's I was working on it, did a couple first passes. I gotta look at something while I'm talking, but I did a couple first passes, and I told everybody, I said, it's just early beta, guys. Like, I don't even want to give this to you. And so we picked a day, we studied it in Asia. I think it was Sunday Asia. And it was just phenomenal. Like, just, I don't even think we missed anything in Sunday Asia. It was absolutely ridiculous. And so everybody was real excited about it, you know. And so they wanted to get it. And so I told them, I said, well, if it doesn't have any issues through Sunday Asia, then we can do that. you know, we'll let it roll. But if we have any issues, then I'm not doing it. And it didn't have any issues. It was phenomenal, guys.
Sounds good. I've been up to my eyeballs and.
Oh, I figured you've been busy. Yeah, let me help this person with something here quick, guys. So you're gonna learn, if you're following me, I'm gonna do my best to kind of help teach you what to look for and things. But I have a big rule of put yourself on timeout. And so after you take a good amount of wins, you don't want to just keep on trade. I don't care if you call it or not, right? You want to let the market go a little bit. Oh, you had the wrong levels on that? Yeah, it was partial levels. It was partial, it was partial, kind of looking at the structure. I was helping, I have somebody, I was going to try to help get set up on something, but it didn't quite go the way I thought it would. So, apologies being distracted here, but be careful on this. This is not a great range to trade it because, again, anything in this can still oscillate for a while. Anything that breaks out of this wedge, that's why I was kind of showing you guys, would be what you would want. You can look for the behaviors to see if it's doing what it should do. So if I take that, a pull down even to here is fine. But if we hit the 618 and reclaim the 32 again, it should jump. But if we lose that, if we lose this level and we try to reclaim it and we can't reclaim that 50, then it's going to create expansion. But again, always put yourself on timeout. You know, you will find that if you just go trade, you're gonna end up struggling, guys. So I just want to get so weird. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why somebody was had a question on something. But if you guys have questions, let me know. Again, you know, Neo, I'll give a little explanation here in a second about him if you just joined. But he's our company AI that we created. So he gave us our levels using the structure. So right off the bat, he had said, where was it? He said sweep low or sweep high and then reclaim. We played that. Usually people play the inverse, which is where they play the short. Anything below that red line is what I said would likely try to continue. The 633, which it rejected there, was his line that he gave as well. So we dropped, hit it, rejected, closed, dropped. Hit this one, went through it, tapped it, couldn't reclaim, no long there, drop, pulled, loss, pull, hold, reclaim, hold, loss. You can see his levels play out pretty well. And so now what I'm just trying to look at, I'm trying to want to see. But if you guys got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to try to work this out while we're on timeout here. Yeah, I will tell you guys this again, and I say it all the time in the other group. But if you cannot sit here and watch a market move and not care, you know you're gonna struggle mostly. So you've got to be able to let the market go if you've already taken your wins. Otherwise, you're overtrading. But come on, inbox. What level did he say would go to if we break the low? So 192 was his like deep low. So if we continue to reject and this wedge theory collapses, then that's a little likely where we're gonna go. But just be really careful. Anytime I see these kind of angles like this, I'm very cautious on trying to short that. So because you're kind of stepping into potential landmine. So remember, when you trade, there's many times that you will let a move go, and you're going to be annoyed with it. But you want to play the safer play. So if I don't like how this is forming, and I know there's a chance of a reclaim of that push, because remember, we're still going to be on a higher time frame if you come all the way over here. I want to see, of course I'm on the 15-second. Let's look at it. Yeah, actually this is our low 430, so we're pretty good below that low. So yeah, 243, and we're a pretty clean breakout of the channel from a 50% rejection. Actually, we got almost to the 382. Interesting. But we'll see how this wedge plays out. Right now it's trying to give some characteristics that look like it wants to. How's the indicator doing on that? I didn't look. I see it's looking like it wants to take a long, but it's all only potential right now.
It triggered the long about a couple minutes ago, and then it ended up canceling it.
Gotcha.
I think it crawled out, didn't it?
No, yeah, this one I'm looking at just shows as potential.
Yeah, no, I think the earlier one I think hit the stop loss.
It hit actual stop loss, or did okay. I wasn't looking. I just
It looked like it was on the trail, but it was like it break even. Looked like
Yeah, break even.
break even. Okay. Good deal. Yeah, more times than not, it's hit break even a good chunk of times, but it really doesn't hit stop loss a lot. I noticed, which is the ideal on it. And so,
it took a long now. I just don't trust it myself.
yeah, I mean it plays out for the wedge, but yeah, I again, if you're green and you're already doing well, man, don't get crazy. I'm almost done with the.
It's only rated active as a C, so.
Gotcha. What's funny is though, have you noticed those C's actually play out pretty decent sometimes?
Yeah, they do. I just
yeah, never trade against your bias. Yeah, I'll turn it on if you guys want to watch it. For those that are in here while I'm playing with this thing.
It looks like it's gonna play out. You're in profit. It's traveling in profit.
Oh yeah, it like you've noticed, man. It does those trails really fast. Pretty good.
It was hard to go to bed last night.
Yeah.
I was just watching it.
Almost good. Why is this? Oh. I know what the deal is. Alright. What time is it? 10:30? Almost done. And then I'll, but yeah, look at the long playing out. Dude, I'm telling you, y'all gotta admit it, because then I know, Kevin, you build your own indicators. Not too shabby for a trading view limitation indicator, huh?
That's crazy. You're so talented. I mean, it's just amazing.
Isn't it wild?
You say you're not the coder though. I don't understand that. I mean,
yeah. Well, no, because
Alex is the coder or Paul.
They are. So I know enough to start and to get.
You know more than enough to start. Now,
yeah, but Alex is the one. When I say I can't get this to do what I want, I give it to him, and then 5 minutes later he sends it back. And so,
now when it's fully validated out, now you'll have something.
Yeah.
That'll be off.
Yeah, and anybody who's created indicators like this, indicators are difficult. It sounds easier than it is. It's very difficult because most who have created them, you have limitations in PineScript, right? And so This is only available, guys, for my mentor and VIP group. And so I will explain that. I finally got what I was trying to do on that, so I can dive in. Apologize for the mild distraction there. Let me delete out some lines, guys. I want to just kind of show you a few thoughts behind my play here. So hopefully my predictive there kept some of you guys safe, at the very least, from taking a short from there. So we are coming into the trap and block. It is trailing. I teach in my mentor program, I heavily look at a lot of variables, but I love things like angles. When I see a sweep of an angle with a reclaim into a bullish potential, that angle is just, I've studied them so long, so they pop out really fast to me. So that's why I was kind of saying, I'm not eager to take that, because I'm taking a short into a potential reversal wedge. Now, it doesn't mean we can't come down here eventually, right? Because it still has to reclaim certain things. But what it means is that this is where I was kind of getting to. Not every trade has to be taken. So, for example, if Neo says he thinks this is the low, this could be the low at any point today. It could hit Asia. It's not really. He didn't really even call this a low. He said this is where the institutions were piling orders, is what he said. And so we will probably hit that because we almost always do. Doesn't mean it's going to happen right now. But my point is if this is ending up in a potential bullish, I don't want to take an expansion. If it just expands, let it go. Who cares, right? You have to get into a who cares mindset. And so if this were to collapse, guess what I'm going to do? Wait, double bottom, pull, hold, I'm long, and I'm going to take the long all the way back up. Guess what? This will be just as good of a trade as that will be. So you got to clear your FOMO. But one of the bigger things that I do, kind of my crazy mind, is I love to anticipate the market. Anybody who tells you should never anticipate the market is probably full of shit. And they're not nearly as good as what they think or what they say. You always should be anticipating, always. I want to anticipate everything. I want to anticipate this. Here, you guys saw I had called this the moment this started to bounce. I was like, we got a wedge. How do I know that the wedge is going to break or give strength for that? Well, we can use, again, the signs. So we have a double bottom, neckline retest that absorbed, failed to create expansion. We lost it, lost the neckline. This should have floored us. It should have, right? The way that progression lines up. The moment we began to get support and we reclaimed that neckline, right? The higher low, you have a nice little trend line if you love those. It just showed you that was a bear trap. They were setting a invalidation trap, higher low, and now they're going to push it. And they could push this pretty freaking high. The fact that we ended up pulling down, did not even get close to our lower part, and then pushed up, that's just a normal sign of any wedge, or channel. If something is channeling like this, I want to see a push, halfway hold, and then that gives your validation for that. Man, this one might actually hit TP shit. Y'all, that's a 100-point move. Are you guys in this one all the way? That's crazy. This is gonna be a 100-point move. No, Kenneth. No.
That VWAP right there too.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully y'all. I tell everybody don't TP it, like pull it down a little. So I don't know if it smacked yours, but let's just kind of walk through this. So there's a trail. It is giving it a wide trail. It's purposeful to give it some room to play. But we can measure strength from this pivot. So all I do is I'm going to take the low of the pivot and go to the high on the retracement. Anything that holds above the 382 is going to be strength. If we lose the 236, which we did, and we reclaim it, would be strength. If we lose the 382 and we hit the 0.5, it should bounce. Reclaim on that would be strength. If we lose 382 and 0.5, then it likely is going to collapse and we're going back down. So, but a lot of it, you want to really deeply study the behaviors of the market. I'll tell you guys, and I preach this daily. I'm thinking how I want to say it because I don't want to downplay things, but I see so much across this platform everybody going, teach me this one strategy. What's the next strategy? What's the next big winning strategy? What's the next? And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the next big strategy is not likely going to help you. And so it's good to know. So that's why I was kind of, don't want to really downplay. It is good to be aware, but you have to understand the conditions of structure, of candle progression, of order flow, of, buyers in, sellers in. What are the candles doing? And once you understand the actual structure, it will make it so much easier for you guys, I promise, because the norm of this industry, and let me know if this sounds familiar, and then I'll go more into the indicator. The industry progression for people who are trying to learn, let me know how this sounds familiar, is let me teach you how to trade. Pay me this money. Then you pay. Then you say, well, I'm doing good, but I want to do better. Well, you need my advanced course. You got to pay all this money. Then you pay all the money, and then you learn it, and you win for a little, and then you lose. And then you say, man, I was winning, but now I'm losing. Well, it's because the market changed, and you need to buy this other course that now you need to be using this strategy. Fast forward a couple of years, now you're 20 strategies in and you're confused because you're sitting, by the time you figure out whether it's CRT, AMD, ICC, whatever other acronym you want to throw out there, the market already moved, and you're going to find, and I've had this discussion with so many people, that the market tends to, the more strategies you have, the more it's going to contradict itself. And so that's why the more strategies, see, look at the trail. It's starting to secure it as it goes up, but it should hit TP. That's a 100-point move on it. That's freaking awesome. Who took the whole thing? I'm just curious. Sorry, I got to digress on this because I'm excited about that. We got TP. Bam. Sweet. Nobody took the whole thing? You guys chickens. No trust. That's fine. I'm just kidding. You guys trailed it. And so, Nita did. I do need to add my bag. And you can see the wedge playing out well. So, but the fact of the matter is, guys, you don't really need another strategy. I'm going to talk on that here in just 1 second, Kenneth, and others, just on the indicator, how to get it and all that. And I'm going to mute it for just a second because I don't want a shiny toy out there for you. But when you're studying, you don't necessarily need another strategy. You need to understand what the candles do, how to anticipate them, how to identify the structure, the movement, all that. And so I'm going to show you one thing, and then I'll talk a little more on Neo for those wanting to know, as well as the indicator. This is kind of an example I show people what I mean. So if you go to, if I can even find my own thing, training courses, and you go to, let's go to the ICT one, and you pull this open.
7.
Do you notice in the images, ICT, it doesn't matter what it is, they're all just recognition of if the candles do this and this, they're gonna do this. If the candles do this, this, and this, it's gonna do this, right? It's all, someone out there identified a pretty cool thing about candles, that if it does this, it's going to do this kind of logic, right? And so it doesn't change just because I want to slap a fancy name on something and charge you a lot of money. It's still just understanding candle progression. And so you guys saw, hopefully you stayed out of your shorts, but even though this looked very bearish, I'm like, I don't trust it because we're wedging. And the wedge played out. We measured the strength based on the push, pull, hold, reclaim. Now this showed an exhibit of a lot of strength, because you take that low to the high. We broke that 236, didn't even get to the 382 before reclaiming it. That's not weakness, guys. That's strength. And so, oh shit, this thing is already, sorry, I muted it on you guys, but let's talk about the indicator. So it already jumped into another long, and so it's already trailing it. Let me give a little context, because guys, I'm pretty much done until the afternoon. We're gonna trade at 11 here with the rest of you guys. So let's talk a little bit of what we all got going on here. A couple things. I'm gonna move this over just to give a little more room. So just to start off, for those joining on TikTok that have no idea what I'm talking about, this is Neo. He's our AI that we created. You can use him if you like. He's commercial on a website. It's not on my desktop. The company that we created is NextStepAlgo.com, and this is our AI. Neo is not, it's not just, hey, this is Neo and that's what he does. Neo is the AI across our site. He is going to be doing a lot of things. So this is TradeVision. TradeVision is like the brains, the hub that we created. He's the smartest kind of part of Neo within here. He's like your mentor, trading partner, guide, you know, whatever you want to refer to him as. He has memory. He'll develop with you as you talk to him. If you have questions, if you have an indicator and you say, hey, my indicator's saying go long, what are your thoughts? He's going to tell you, maybe give you some ideas, some, you know, ways to adjust, you know, pivot from within it. And so this is where you want to spend most of your time for the most part. But we are also working on Support Neo. He's been a little bit of a shithead, I'll be blunt with it. So not where I want him to be, so I have not released him yet. But eventually Neo will be your onboarding guide to the website. Where to go, what to do, help you set up your trading view, I mean, he's going to be full board on all that. So it's going to be good. Going through that site, we also have Neo Autopilot. That's where Neo is going to have the ability to trade. So Autopilot is really exciting because the whole point when we created the AI, that one's going to get trailed out, is when we created the AI, is we wanted him to be more than just a signal caller. I wanted him to be a mentor, trading coach, guide, all that. But I also wanted to, all of the development that we've done with Neo is in the efforts of getting him to trade for people. You know, trading is emotional. It's difficult. It's hard. I know no matter how good you get, at times you feel like you can't win. The beauty of AI is there's no emotion. And you guys see how well he calls out his stuff. It's going to be phenomenal when he trades. And so when we did any kind of development, it was always in the mind of him trading that. So yeah, Brittany, absolutely. And I'm gonna go into that too. So the goal of the Neo was, again, to teach you, but also have the ability to trade for you. We're going to expand so far into that, guys. He will be able to trade options, futures, and even your crypto portfolio. We've done that before, so it's not hard to do. I will tell you the power of what this guy is going to bring is, many out there, I'm sure, have tried bots. Guys, this is not a short. I meant to mute it. See how it says armed? It means it's looking, but it has not entered. So hopefully you didn't jump short. That's why I was trying to keep it muted, because the mentor people know what to look for on that, but it's not a short yet. You'll see it say active. But I want him to be able to trade for you, because the beauty of AI compared to normal bots is one sec, Sam. I'll get to all that questions. The normal bots all run mostly on either NinjaTrader or, you know, PineScript. Those are all lagging things, guys. There's no real data coming into it. I create a lot of stuff, you know, through indicators and other stuff. It's not possible to make an indicator bot on TradingView that can be great in all conditions. It's not. Yeah, you're not wrong, Jody. It's just not possible. I'm gonna tell you guys from some cool shit that I've created, and you know, creating a bot or automation that can run on PineScript is possible, and to create one that can win is possible. Consistent and win in all market conditions, not possible. So even this indicator I created here, I may have to continuously adjust because conditions change, and PineScript's ones and zeros. It cannot evolve. Neo can evolve, meaning if this takes a bad trade, it's going to try to take that same trade again, and it'll just do it over and over. With Neo, he's going to take a trade. If it's a bad trade, he's going to look at the setup, look at the trade, look at the conditions, and he'll try not to make that mistake again. You know, he'll self-analyze, he'll adjust. And that's what's going to be so powerful with that AI that we're going to do with him on the auto trading. So On his auto trading, we are in a very, very fun phase, but it's a very, very exhausting phase because I'm excited to talk about it. He has been trading kind of in a simulated thing, not actually executing trades, where he gets the read, it hits, it's a win, it doesn't, it's a loss. You know, it's simulated through the guidance, right? And he's just crushed it. So now we've actually tied him into TradeVision. So he's actually actively executing orders, because you guys all know, AI or not, to push that button is different. And so here's the autopilot, and I'll give you a little sneak peek behind the dashboard. So we're in testing phase. He's only taken a couple of trades, you know, from that. You can see there is wins, there is losses. You can see through here. It's literally, we started him actually executing like yesterday. So I was up till like 3 in the morning last night. There's all of these trades at one point or another were green or pretty green. So his trades were amazing. His TP, stop losses, all that was really good. The only thing that I didn't like, which I'm adjusting, is his trailing ability. So like this one was actually green for a little bit, and then it kind of went backwards. But in all fairness, we had Alex was doing some updates and stuff, so we had a couple of bumps that we're going through. But the plan is, once we get him executing consistently and we're happy with him doing it the way he should be, I believe in any kind of automation, transparency is key. So once we get this where we want it, then we're gonna have a dashboard that you guys can watch. You know, we'll link him up to a company account, and you guys can see him do it for those skeptics. But gonna be amazing. We have a lot of other just amazing things that we're working to create. So as far as the indicator that I know many of you have asked on that, let me mute. I'm gonna mute all my drawings here. So let me talk a little bit about why I made this. So as you guys know, I've talked about, most of you, I've talked about the mentoring that I do. Everybody in this community, company, using anything is always going to be very important to me, that you guys have the right tools, good tools that actually help you, that keep you on the right side, that, you know, help you win. It's just really important to me. But the 50 that are in my mentoring group, we're like family. Like our group, you know, we have a private group chat that we talk in all weekend. You know, I'm on board with Cody. Sometimes, you know, Cody joined in this morning and there was a bunch of messages, and he's like, yeah, I'm not reading all that, but great job if it went well. I thought that was hilarious. And but we laugh, we joke in there, we trade. I mean, shoot, I spend more time with them probably than my own family. Not even probably, really. And so it becomes very personal, right? And so I have a little invested interest of just ensuring I do everything in my power to get them to be successful. Yeah, Jody, you know. And those who have followed me on the live that have not joined on anything, you've never really heard me come in here and say, let me show you my proven strategy that will help you. Yeah, there's only a couple more left. I think like it shows 2, but I think it's like 3 or 4, like something like that. I'll have to look, but yeah, it's really, really close. I have availability today, so if anybody wants to schedule something, I'll talk on that in a second. But when I talk about things, I'm not gonna get in here and sales menu. I'm just not. I refuse to do that. I will not get in here, and it disgusts me when people are in here saying, I make all this crazy money and I do all this and that and whatever, and showing their Lambos, and I'm gonna teach you how to be a millionaire in 90 days. I mean, they're all such false promises. There's just no way to know that, guys. There's no way. Because I don't care how good you are at TA or technicals, you cannot, if you can't control your emotions, you're going to get wrecked, right? And so, but the one thing that I can guarantee or commit is that if something is not working for somebody, especially in my mentor group, I'm going to figure out a way to make it work. I'll find a tool that will help you. I don't like to see anybody in there. It's like a no man left behind, right? Struggling too much, right? Too bad. And so that leads me to my context of this indicator. Those in the mentor program know I am pretty anti buy sell signals. Even like this, I really was pretty anti this. I never really wanted to create something like this. But we had a pretty good amount of new people that came into the program, and I wanted to kind of fast track them to catch up. So as I was going through to try to fast track them, I was doing a lot of the lessons. We spent a lot of time together, so they can definitely catch up pretty quick. But it dawned on me there was a day last week, like one day that I know some of the newer people still got beat up pretty good. And it was because it was just a lot of fake outs, a lot of traps. And I know as a mentor or as someone who's done this for a while, I can look at a chart, even while I'm talking here, I'm already analyzing what this thing's trying to do. And I can see the intent, but I can see the pivot. I know where to do the measurement, the retracement, the fib, the pattern, the structure, look for the wedge, all that. For me, I'm watching this because the trap is there, but I don't, again, going short, guys, into a, I'm curious if it plays out, but going short out of a wedge is pretty ballsy. So I want to see if that plays out. We'll see. It might. Oh, and so, when, and these guys will all keep me honest, right? I think it was Sunday, guys, right? Like, yeah, pretty much Sunday. I was working all weekend ish on an indicator that helped see how I teach it. But after seeing them struggle, I didn't like that. And so, okay, I got you, Kenneth. Yeah, I'll send you an email right off the bat. My emails go to spam too, so watch that. And so I took what I was doing, so I already had a little head start, and I was like, you know what? I want to set up something that shows a potential setup of logic and how I look at it and what I use, but I want these people to win. So I decided to create it where it's pretty much a full trade setup. And then there's a bunch of little data down here that they know how to interpret it. But this indicator is very, very related around a good chunk of the heart of how I trade. It's extremely aggressive. So I tell everybody, do not take every single one. That's why I don't show this a lot for you guys, because you got to know what I'm looking at and what I'm, how I'm trading it to kind of determine which ones are good and which ones are not. And so with this one, the beauty is what I also did is Neo. I went in and added the logic so he knows the mentor and VIP people are using it. And so you can actually, when you see the potential predictive, I can tell him, like I kind of did earlier, hey, I'm starting to see a possible short with this stop loss, this TP. Is there any adjustments in this setup that I should make? That one stopped out. And he will tell you, I don't like that. Like earlier, remember when it tried to populate a possible long? He goes, I don't like it. And then we dropped. And so one disclaimer that I gave to them is you don't want to go technology backwards. This is old technology. This is new technology. And that's why I wanted them to work in sync. The other thing that is really cool, John in the mentor group brought up, I didn't even think about it because I just seem to forget about this Neo at times.
Hello, I'm Neo.
It's pretty cool
Capture the move.
because if you look at it, this Neo is going to give you long and short setups. When that indicator lines up with session Neo and what he's thinking, it ends up pretty damn surefire. So that's another way that I show them how to use that. I have no intention anytime soon releasing this to anybody but mentor and VIP because it's very, very strategy related. And so let's touch on that briefly. What is that mentor VIP? So the mentoring side, I'm going to cover that because I don't want you guys to get distracted. On the mentoring side, when you click on the mentor program, you can see this shows 2 spots left. I will tell you I have, let's look at the thing. I'll just look at the chat because that's the easiest way. There's some people that are not, oop, let me get you in there, Clark. I see US on that. I'm not typing it, but everybody in the mentor group that's in here, welcome, Clark. Just added him to the chat. Yeah, so this has us at 49, but it's minus me and Paul. I have 3 spots, maybe 4. Yeah, 4 at the most, but 3 left, and then we're locked. Once I get the 50 that are in there, that's it. You know, it'll be a waiting list. There's no more going in. Now, what are the differences between mentor and VIP? Let me kind of touch on that. Mentorship is the personal side of it. You can't just register. You have to click it. We get on. We have a talk. We have a call. I don't want you paying for anything on that unless the program's right for you. So I will just talk to you. It's nothing structured. How do you trade? Tell me about yourself a little bit. I'm gonna tell you about myself. Talk about what I do. You know, there's a bunch of hidden perks that come with the mentor group that I don't talk about on here because I don't want people joining just because of the perks. I'll just say that. Is this for beginners? Yeah. Oh yeah. There's Jody. Where are you at? Is it for beginners? No. Yeah. We have actually a good amount of beginners that are coming into it. I've had people. Where's my people here? Milena, you're in here, right? Remember, Milena? Our first day was, this is a chart. We're measuring price over time. Yeah. This is a candle, right? So exactly. Yeah, appreciate you chiming in. But yeah, so I've worked with a lot of new people, really new people, so that's not an issue. And that's where, you know, again, I'm going to keep creating tools as I need to as well for people. Did that? Oh yeah, it jumped in the long. That's playing out. Now, if you want to get in, again, like I said, 3-4 spots at most left. I have pretty open afternoon. We could talk about it. The fastest way you can do it is register on it. If you want to double up, go into the question mark and then just put mentorship, type in your reason, and send a support ticket. Reason is because when I email you directly, sometimes it goes to spam. I don't know why. I think it's just because the Google Workspace that we use is fairly new. And so, but if you do a support ticket, I can respond right back to it on that. And so that's the quicker way, so we can book you guys in. When it comes to the mentor program, guys, it's the first 50 that committed. So, and then you're going to see a waiting list on there. So VIP, what does that do? The VIP is something we created aligned with the mentoring, but it's like an all access to the site without the personal touch of having my phone number, one-on-ones, the mentoring side of that. The VIP, what makes the VIP special is you are going to get all access to what we create, meaning you have access to all of our training courses, all of our, you know, you can get TradeVision Pro, you can, the VIP has access to join in with our sessions. You can see Mentor VIP chat, Mentor VIP sessions, so you can join in with our sessions. And so you're still kind of part of the club. You're just not in the additional mentoring side of it. Doesn't mean I won't help people, just so you guys know. I mean, if you're a VIP and you're struggling, then by all means ask questions. I want everybody to be successful. VIP gets access also to this indicator. They just don't get it as early. So mentoring, the mentoring group I bounce ideas off on, I create ideas for, and I was just looking at this one. Yeah, it's trailing already. And then once things are ready, dialed in, you know, then it goes to the VIP part of that. And so I see that question, Brittany. We'll get to that in a sec. You get the biggest, most important thing is the locked in access. So you get locked in access forever. All of our prices, once you lock in, doesn't ever change. So I will not bring them up on you ever. And so right now this one is heavily discounted. I'll tell you at the end of this month it's going up for sure. The price isn't going up, the coupon's just going to be reduced. The reason why is because as we build, this one right here is going to slowly get back to what the price we intended it to be. And so if you get in early on it, then that's your price. What does that also get you? So not only do you get all the training courses, you get all the indicators that we create now to the end of time, even ones that we don't sell. And you'll get access to autopilot, you'll get access to watch list when we're done with it. Anything we create from now to the end of time, you pretty much get access to it. That's the whole point of the VIP. So waiting for the military discount. So I will tell you guys that are military out there, we have not we have so much we're building, and I am 100% pro military. My son was in the military. I was not, health things, but grandparents, come from a very military family, and so I'm all about helping. And so if you are military and you want to get on and we talk about it, I have no issue working out some kind of discount for you. I just don't, we will not have the time anytime soon to add it to the website because as you know, it comes with, you got to do the verify and put up a ID and all that. And so, but I'm definitely pro it. So just make a support ticket and let's chat, man. I'm all about it. But yeah, the VIP again, it's, you're gonna get everything that we got from within. So if you're interested in that the VIP side of that, if you want to know the pricing, all that, we have our deals tab. All of our deals are in here, so all for everything that we do. So on the pricing, let me go into some of the questions. So the mentoring, Brittany asked, how often do we meet? So there's things I guarantee, but we tend to do a whole lot more than that. I might get a break even on this one. And so we meet every morning, 7:30 to 9 a.m. And that's our pre-market, right? Sometimes we take a trade, sometimes we don't. Yeah. And that one is an every morning, Monday through Friday, right? Then we started meeting Sundays at 6 p.m. on the open. Really 5:30 we've been getting on to do Sunday Asia. Sunday Asia is important to me to trade with the mentor group because and the VIP because if you can get that win on Sunday, it takes off the edge on Monday, right? When you come into the Monday. So we do meet then. That's really the scheduled times other than the afternoon. Like I said, when we get off here in a couple minutes, we're going to go to trade. And so the afternoon sessions, again, we trade, sometimes we don't trade, sometimes we just study. Lately we've been testing this indicator, kind of working through variations of it, stuff like that. But if I'm trading, I throw out a thing in the group me and that we use, and we hop on and we trade. So throughout the week we do it. The other thing, cool addition, which I appreciate, is Paul has been extremely helpful with he started a class on Tuesdays at 8:30 to go over helping people get set up, like trading view, trade of 8, fundamentals, new questions, any of that stuff, just to kind of help kind of fast track catch you up. So we do that on Tuesdays as well. So what else on the videos? If you come down here, you can see we record everything we do on the YouTube links, and so and then the mentorship VIP videos are here, so you can see everything's recorded, so you'll be able to watch that as well. But yeah, real exciting, guys. I'm excited for, just like all of you are, Neo to trade. I can't wait for Neo to begin trading for us. It's going to be phenomenal. So but if you're interested, check it out. If you guys have questions, DM me. I answer my TikToks. So I just saw your thing, Kevin. Yeah, I think this is the same as mine, right? Oh, you're on ES. I just saw that. Yeah, nice. Trying to think what else. Pretty much it, guys. How do we sign up? So the VIP, you can sign up whenever you want. The mentoring, we have to meet, and I only have 4 spots left. So first 4 in are gonna be locked. And so once we meet for the mentoring, and this gets 50 out of 50, you're gonna see a waiting list show up. And I'll tell you, right, we have. Let me pull it up. I'll just explain. I do see your thing, Kenneth, on that. So we have like I don't even know. It's like probably 40 people that are sitting on the waiting, right? Which would be part of the waiting list. Those people are just people that registered and then I emailed and never responded. So just because you registered, you're not locked. We have to get on a call. Once I get on a call and we agree that the program's for you and I preview, then your spot's locked on that. And then there's some that have been approved that didn't commit, right? They eventually got bumped. So Neo Autopilot will be a separate subscription, but it will be included with VIP and Mentor. So yeah, Neo Autopilot, watch list, those will all be separate extension subscriptions. But we're not, you guys know, I don't want to try to price gouge things. I just want people to be able to win. And so once we haven't decided a price on this yet because we don't really know the full cost because we have to ping the site like just constantly, right, to pull the data, and so that comes with a cost. And so we don't really have a price set on that, but we're not going to make them. It's the intent at least is not to be out here Neo Autopilot for 5,000 a month or 1,000 a month, or we'll just see how that plays out. So I think there's a fair balance in any business that we can create a environment where it's win-win. It's not price gouging you out of all your profits, but then it covers our time and costs, right? And so I'm not a big fan of pricing things just because people will pay that. So more to come on it. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting, guys. We have so many things that we're doing and building, and so many more ideas, guys. I had another idea for Neo as well, and when I told Alex it, he told me to not even tell him right now. He builds fast, but my mind doesn't stop, and so I'm like, ooh, what if we do this? He's like, shut up. Let's finish these other ones first. I'm like, okay, you're right. Autopilot. But Autopilot right now is the most important project we have right now. I've almost kind of like paused a lot of what else I'm doing project-wise, because that is going to be what changes people's lives. Because if he can get in here and trade for you, and think about, guys, that the timing is so cool because they're coming out with that, or the nano contracts they're doing. You guys see all the hype and talk about extending the futures, like what was it, the 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. or something sessions. I mean, imagine having Neo even trading nanos 24/7 with U.S. volatility style around the clock. Like, I mean, it's just gonna be nasty. And so it's gonna be amazing. And so, yeah, like I said, it's gonna be exciting, guys. I do gotta get rolling because I gotta respect a little on the time because it's 11:08. And I'm looking at people registering. I'm probably gonna be having some meetings this afternoon. So, appreciate you guys joining. I'm live every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 on TikTok. Today, Wednesday. Man, when you're up late, up early, I feel like it's still Monday. I will be live in Asia, guys. I am live every Wednesday, Asia. I usually go live by 7, but I'll probably be live by 6 today, or maybe even just before. And so I will be live. So if you want to give me a follow and look for that, and we will utilize Neo together. The point of me going live today is it's kind of like a TradeVision training. I teach people how to use Neo, talk with them, answer questions. You guys are welcome to come into the Google Meet, all that stuff. So if you go to the website, NextStepAlgo.com on here, that would be where you go. And then when you are on it, you want to just scroll down. If you're looking for mentoring, you click the mentor program. If you are on a phone, we did the best we can, but your icons are going to look like that. And so as you scroll through the icons, it's the one between the video cameras, right? The little guy with the lines. And then the little golden ticket thing here is the VIP one that we did on that. But yeah, I will watch that really close to those that are registering. And then I'll send you a quick email on that as well. So let me look. Yep, that should be it, guys. Again, appreciate your time. Am I live during the FOMC? Probably not. I don't think you should be trading it, and we usually will go live to study it, but I'm probably we'll do our afternoon session, just kind of retouch on this indicator for everybody there, maybe take a couple trades, study. And then I'll probably have at least 1 or 2 one-on-ones, and then I got to jump to working on autopilot on that. And so I am actually looking at your thing here. So you guys can also email me directly, guys. It's going to be my name, which is I'm trying to think of how I want to type it because TikTok hates it. So it's my name, which is Nick. And then you're going to do the @ and then the NextStepAlgo and then .com. So I have to break it up like that or TikTok shadow blocks it. But you can email me directly as well. But yeah, I'll be sending that out as soon as I jump off of here. Yeah, on that, guys, we'll see you later this evening.